Somewhere in a testing facility right now, a heavily camouflaged SUV is quietly rewriting what the name is supposed to mean. This is the 2026 Sport, and if the early signs are anything to go by, it's not just an update, it's a rebuild. Welcome back to Motor Verdict Meter. If this is your first time here, this is where we break down upcoming vehicles before they hit the market. No fluff, no guesswork dressed up as fact, just a clear, honest read on what's coming and whether it actually matters to you. And today, we're looking at a vehicle that's been quietly building anticipation in the midsize SUV space for months. The Sport has always had a reputation problem in the best possible sense. It's the SUV people trust more than they talk about. It doesn't chase headlines the way some rivals do. It just shows up, works hard, and holds its value. But the segment has moved. Buyers now expect more tech, more visual presence, and more refinement without losing an ounce of toughness. So the question going into 2026 is simple. Can modernize the Sport without losing what made it dependable in the first place? Based on spy shots, platform sharing clues, and what we know about its broader product strategy, the answer looks like a confident yes. This new generation is expected to share its underpinnings with the latest Triton pickup, which immediately tells us a lot, not just about styling, but about structure, capability, and where wants this SUV to sit in the market. Larger wheel arches spotted on test mules hint at a different chassis architecture underneath, which could translate into a meaningfully different driving character compared to the outgoing model. Over the next several minutes, we're going to walk through everything currently expected on this SUV, front to back, inside and out, and lay out where it likely fits, who it's likely built for, and whether it's worth the wait. Let's get into it. Start at the front, and the story of this new Sport starts to make sense immediately. Early test mules show a face that leans heavily on Triton design language, which isn't surprising given the shared platform, but it's a meaningful shift for the Sport nameplate specifically. Expect a taller, more upright hood line paired with a sharper, more angular headlight signature, likely running a slimmer LED daytime running light strip that stretches the visual width of the front end. The grille is expected to grow bolder and more structured, moving away from the softer, more rounded treatment of the outgoing model towards something that reads as tougher and more deliberate. This isn't just about looking aggressive for the sake of it. A wider, more upright front end typically signals a taller approach angle and a design language built around perceived off-road capability, which matters enormously to this SUV's core buyer. Underneath, expect a reworked front bumper with larger, more clearly defined air intakes, likely paired with integrated fog lights and variant-dependent front parking sensors as part of the driver assistance suite. Ground clearance is expected to see a modest bump if the new chassis rumors hold true, which would directly benefit both approach geometry and everyday confidence over broken roads, speed humps, and unpaved driveways. The overall effect is a front end that feels less like a facelift and more like a statement. This Sport wants to look like it belongs next to the Everest, not behind them. Move to the rear, and the changes are expected to be just as deliberate, even if they're less dramatic than the front. The taillight cluster is rumored to adopt a sharper, more horizontal LED signature, replacing the softer, rounder units of the current generation. This kind of shift typically does two things at once. It modernizes the visual identity, and it makes the SUV easier to identify at night and in traffic, which matters more than people give it credit for. The rear bumper is expected to grow chunkier and more structured, likely incorporating integrated reflectors and, on higher trims, rear parking sensors and a reverse camera as standard or near-standard equipment. A roof-mounted rear spoiler remains a likely carryover element, both for aerodynamic reasoning and for maintaining the SUV's visual cues. Practical touches matter here too. Expect a rear wiper to remain standard given the SUV's off-road adjacent positioning, and the tailgate design is likely to retain a conventional swing-open layout rather than shifting to a power-assisted unit, though that could vary by top-spec trim, and if a power tailgate does appear, it would likely be reserved for the range-topping variant. The rear badge treatment is expected to be cleaned up, and in line with the more premium direction appears to be pushing across its lineup. Overall, the rear end is less about reinvention and more about refinement, sharper lighting, tougher proportions, and a design that still clearly says sport, just with more confidence behind it. Walk around to the left side, and this is where the platform story becomes visually obvious. Those larger wheel arches spotted in spy shots aren't just a styling flourish. They suggest wider front and rear tracks, which typically points to a more planted stance and potentially improved stability, both on-road and off it. The side profile is expected to retain the Sport's familiar upright greenhouse and strong shoulder line, but with a more defined character line running from the front fender through to the rear haunch. This kind of detail does real work visually. It breaks up what could otherwise be a slab-sided SUV silhouette and gives the body a sense of motion even when it's parked. Alloy wheel design is expected to grow more aggressive, likely moving toward multi-spoke patterns in darker or two-tone finishes on higher trims, paired with wider tires that suit the tougher aesthetic. Side mirrors are expected to be reshaped for both aerodynamic efficiency and a cleaner visual line, and it's likely they'll continue to house turn signal indicators and, on upper trims, blind spot warning lights. Roof rails remain a near certainty given this SUV's lifestyle positioning. Buyers cross-shopping this segment expect them for cargo boxes, kayaks, and general adventure-ready practicality. Side steps may be offered as standard on higher trims or as an accessory option, improving cabin access for shorter drivers and passengers, particularly relevant given the expected bump in ride height. Taken together, the left profile is where this new Sport starts to feel genuinely different from its predecessor: wider, more planted, and visually more serious about its off-road credentials. Shift to the right side, and much of what applies to the left holds true here as well, but the right profile is where the SUV's road presence really comes together as a complete picture. Viewed from this angle, say, parked at a trailhead or rolling past on the highway, the proportions are expected to read as more substantial than the outgoing model, without tipping into looking bulky or. The wheelbase, if platform sharing rumors are accurate, is expected to shift slightly compared to the current generation, which would have knock-on effects for both interior space and on-road stability. A longer wheelbase relative to overall length generally translates into a smoother ride and more rear seat legroom, both things this SUV's target buyer cares about deeply, especially those using it as a genuine family vehicle rather than a weekend toy. Door handle design is expected to be and modernized, likely shifting toward a flatter, more integrated look consistent with the broader design language seen on the Triton. Character lines carry through cleanly from the left side, maintaining visual consistency, while the window line is expected to remain relatively upright, a deliberate choice that preserves outward visibility, which matters enormously for driver confidence in tight off-road trails or crowded parking structures. From this angle, the new Sport doesn't just look like an update. It looks like a vehicle that's been engineered from a slightly different starting point, with road presence that should hold its own next to established rivals. Step inside, and this is arguably where the biggest transformation is expected to happen. Appears to be borrowing heavily from the Triton's interior architecture, and if that holds true, it represents a genuine leap forward for the Sport in terms of perceived quality and usability. Expect a redesigned dashboard with a cleaner, more horizontal layout, a design trend that tends to make cabins feel wider and less cluttered. Materials are expected to improve meaningfully, with more soft-touch surfaces likely replacing some of the harder plastics found in the outgoing model, particularly around the door panels and upper dash. Build quality has traditionally been a strength, and there's no indication that's changing here. The instrument cluster is expected to shift toward a more digital-forward setup, likely featuring a configurable driver display on higher trims, paired with a larger central, plausibly in the 9 to 12-inch range based on where the segment is trending. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration are reasonably expected given current rollout patterns, and a wireless charging pad would be a logical addition on upper variants. Seating is expected to retain a firm, supportive character suited to long-distance and off-road use, with variant-dependent features like electric adjustment, heated front seats, and improved lumbar support likely reserved for higher trims. Rear seat space should benefit from any wheelbase increase, with rear air conditioning vents, USB ports, and a center armrest all reasonable expectations at this price point and segment. Driving position is expected to remain commanding and SUV appropriate, with good outward visibility supported by the more upright greenhouse we noted on the side profile. Overall cabin is expected to trend more premium and less utilitarian than before, a clear signal that wants this interior to compete on comfort, not just capability. Now to the part that matters most for how this SUV actually feels to live with. The new Sport is rumored to run a 2.4 twin-turbocharged four-cylinder diesel engine, with early estimates pointing to somewhere around 150 kW of power and 470 Newton of torque. Those figures, while not yet officially confirmed, would represent a meaningful step up in usability over a naturally aspirated or single-turbo setup, particularly in the mid-range, where torque delivery actually matters for towing, overtaking, and climbing grades. What that torque figure really translates to in daily life is confidence. It's the difference between hesitating before you pull out to overtake a truck on a two-lane highway and doing it without a second thought. It's the difference between a fully loaded SUV struggling up a steep driveway and one that handles it without drama. For buyers who tow trailers, boats, or camper units, that torque band is arguably more relevant than the peak power number. Transmission-wise, expect to pair this engine with a modern automatic gearbox, likely retaining a similar multi-speed configuration to recent Triton applications, tuned for smooth low-speed drivability as much as highway cruising efficiency. A 4WD system with selectable terrain modes remains a near certainty given this SUV's positioning, and if the new chassis rumors are accurate, features like hill descent control and improved approach and departure angles are reasonable expectations, particularly on higher off-road focused trims. On road, the combination of a stiffer platform, wider track, and refined suspension tuning should translate into noticeably improved ride comfort and reduced body roll compared to the outgoing generation, a common byproduct when manufacturers move a body-on-frame SUV onto a newer, more rigid pickup-derived platform. Noise insulation is also expected to improve, an area where midsize diesel SUVs have historically lagged behind their unibody crossover rivals. The overall performance character being suggested here isn't about outright speed. It's about competence, a built to feel unstressed whether you're merging onto a motorway, hauling a trailer, or grinding up a muddy incline in low range. Pricing for the 2026 Sport hasn't been officially confirmed, but based on where the outgoing model sits and where typically positions its vehicles relative to and Ford, we can make some educated projections. Expect the base variant to be priced competitively just under or roughly in line with the entry level, positioning the Sport as the value-conscious alternative without feeling like a budget compromise. Mid-range variants are likely to add the bulk of the tech and safety upgrades. Think the larger, upgraded driver assistance suite and improved seating materials, representing what's likely to be the volume-selling sweet spot for most buyers. The range-topping variant, likely loaded with the full suite of driver assistance features, premium interior trim, and the most capable off-road hardware, would be expected to price closer to, or potentially above, comparable top-spec Everest and variants, reflecting the improved platform and interior quality. The core value argument here is straightforward, has historically offered strong equipment levels relative to price, and if this generation genuinely delivers Triton-level interior quality and updated safety tech, it could represent one of the stronger value propositions in the segment, assuming pricing doesn't creep too far upward to chase a more premium positioning. Country-specific pricing will vary significantly depending on local taxes, import duties, and trim availability, so treat these projections as directional rather than fixed. Real-world use case plus who it's for. This is where the Sport has always made the most sense, and the 2026 model looks set to sharpen that focus rather than dilute it. This is a vehicle for people who need genuine capability, not just the appearance of it, tradespeople hauling equipment through rough terrain, families who split time between city commutes and weekend trips to the coast or the mountains, and buyers who simply don't trust unibody crossovers to handle unpaved roads without drama. If you're someone who tows a trailer, boat, or caravan regularly, the rumored torque figures make this a genuinely relevant option, not just a lifestyle purchase. If your weekends involve gravel roads, campsites, or terrain that would make a typical crossover nervous, the expected ground clearance and 4WD system matter far more here than they would in a typical SUV comparison. At the same time, the anticipated interior and tech improvements suggest is trying to close the gap for buyers who want that capability without sacrificing daily comfort. The school run, the daily commute, the long highway drive to visit family. This isn't a vehicle built purely for enthusiasts or purely for utility buyers. It's aimed at the middle ground, people who need one vehicle to do almost everything, and who are tired of choosing between comfort and capability. Let's be honest about where this stands right now, because that's the whole point of this channel. The expected strengths are clear. A genuinely upgraded platform shared with a proven pickup truck, a torque-rich diesel suited to real-world towing and off-roading, a significantly improved interior if the Triton-source design language holds true, and a value position that should remain competitive against established rivals. The uncertainties are worth naming plainly too. Exact power and torque figures remain rumored, not confirmed, and official specifications could shift before launch. Pricing is a projection based on market positioning logic, not a released figure, and could vary meaningfully by region. Some features discussed here, particularly around advanced driver assistance and premium interior touches, are variant-dependent and may not be available across the entire lineup, especially in more price-sensitive markets. There's also the standard risk that comes with any platform sharing strategy. While borrowing from the Triton should improve interior quality and technology, it also means needs to differentiate the Sport enough that it doesn't feel like a pickup-based SUV. Based on the styling cues seen so far, that differentiation looks intentional, but it's something worth confirming once official images and specifications are released. Final verdict plus CTA. Put it all together, and the 2026 Sport looks like a genuinely significant step forward for the nameplate, not a cautious refresh, but a real attempt to close the gap with the Everest while leaning into the toughness that's always defined this SUV. The styling direction feels purposeful, the expected sounds properly capable, and the interior upgrades, if they land the way current signals suggest, could be the biggest differentiator of all. Has confirmed an official unveiling is expected in late 2025, with a global rollout likely to follow through 2026, and markets like Australia tipped to receive early allocations. If you've been holding off on a midsize SUV purchase, this is one worth waiting for before you commit. That's our full breakdown of the 2026 Sport. If you found this useful, hit like, drop a comment with what you're most curious about: the interior, the engine, or the pricing, and subscribe to Motor Verdict Meter so you don't miss our full review the moment official details drop. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.